Hello folks, I'm JDporkchop and welcome to another episode of Rotarycraft Infinity. In today's episode, as promised, moving on to completely different stuff, but we are very quickly going to touch on everything I've done since the last time you were here. So I think we'll jump straight downstairs, and first things first, these are the upgraded blast furnaces. And so with this, I can now automate, and there is up there, you can see, oh no, we already made it all. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so these, basically I can just make steel automatically now without having to come and do it manually. I'm going to connect these chests up to the logistics system at some point. But yeah, slag out the back, steel out the front, coal coke and iron in the top. Perfect. Oh, and by the way, you make that. I'll quickly just show you immersive, and where are we? Right, so you have to take your blast break, wrap a steel plate around it, which you make with just steel and a hammer, and then it's a 3x3x3 with a hopper on the top, and then you hit it with a hammer. Sorted. Is that the only thing we changed in here? Yep, that's the only thing. Through here, this barrel is almost full. We now have a huge amount of stuff to put into it, so I left it running till it almost filled that, and then I turned it off. Cable has all been upgraded, as I said. This is just a little monitor thing. I wanted to check how much, kind of what the average input-output was. We at some point are going to put a fourth boiler in here, so we can get another 9. I wonder if I can stick another row. I'm sure you can stick another row on, which would be another 6, and they cough out 80 RF a tick each. And that'd be quite good. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna at some point I'll do that off camera as well. I'm gonna put another boiler in here and hook up a load more steam dynamos, just so I can direct more power to the mob farm, which I suppose we'll go look at that next. So the mob farm, I need to fix the glass, is worked better than I could ever have hoped. As you can see, half the reason this hole in the glass is here is I really need to put like fans along the sides, or put the conveyor belts back or something, because they sort of just mill around, but they do get killed quite reasonably good. So I'll just show you down here. We already have one full barrel up the stairs, plus these 2 barrels filling. It is a constant stream of XP. And in here, I've had to empty this chest like twice already. The only complaint I have is the drop rate of magma cream is really, really low. I'll literally get like 10 stacks. Like I'll get a stack of gunpowder for every 1 magma cream. But in all honesty, we don't need a huge amount, so it is kind of keeping up. And if we struggle, what I'll do is I'll put a slime in there, a slime spawner. And I just show you up the top here. So that one is what is that one? Okay, that's zombie. I put zombie in there. Hello. I put zombie in there basically as a what do you call it? XP. You know, even if I turn all the other ones off, I'll leave the zombie one on. Or probably actually the creeper one more than anything else. But yeah, I put the zombie one in there, and then there's zombie flesh and heads. I needed zombie heads and stuff as well. That one is the Enderman one, which I have turned off at the moment, so I ran out. I basically have too many Ender pearls, which is a good thing to have, I suppose. That's the creeper one, which in all honesty, I think I'll turn that one off as well, because I have almost 64 stacks of gunpowder now. That one. Is that the one I turn it off? No. That one. Cool. And this one is the lava slime, or magma cube, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, that has been very successful. So we will head back up the stairs. Is there anything else down here that I've done? Nope, I think that's it. Head back up here. So just so you can get an idea, so there's 18 stacks of gunpowder there, plus maybe what, another 10 downstairs. So maybe I was over exaggerating, saying there was 64, but still. Ender pearls, 11 stacks of 16. If we go into my magical chest, stacks and stacks of heads. So yeah, I just didn't need any more. We have a look in here. There's more ender pearls in here, more gunpowder. Just yeah. So this episode, we are going to move on to some new stuff. There used to be an IC2 machine here. I've moved that so we can use this as a new workspace, and we are going to get into Thaumcraft, which I mentioned at the end of the last episode. What I'm going to do is we're going to start using this bit of space, but I am probably going to make a magic room. I want to kind of expand this base out a bit, because when we first picked this space, well, over a month ago now, I very distinctly remember standing right here, looking up and thinking, wow, I could kind of like build a level there, and build a level there, and build a level there, and it'd go all the way up. And it was going to be really cool. And we have sort of done that. You know, the place has slowly grown from, well, when it was just this little entrance bit and the rooms down there. Then it has kind of expanded from that, but we need to work on it more. So I'm going to have a magic room built soon. Bear with me on that. Maybe I'll try and work on it between this episode and the next one. But for now, we're just going to use that space. Okay, so let's get started. First things first, grab yourself a stick and 10 iron nuggets. Iron nuggets like so, and you get your end caps. End caps like that, and a stick in the middle, and your first wand. And this is going to be how you interact with the mod in a lot of ways. So these things are pretty handy. You can upgrade this. This is the absolute most basic one you can make. And then as you go along, you'll get more and more powerful wands. This also holds magic inside it. If you look up in the top left of my screen, there's now a, there's now a little reticle, and that collects the what are they called? Essences, I suppose. I'm probably using the wrong names for stuff, but this each, you know, you have air, fire, water, order, earth. You can fill it up with that magic two ways: killing stuff and from nodes, which we'll talk about a little bit further down the line. But all you need to know is this is the first thing you need to make. The second thing you need to make is a bookcase. So I'm going to grab this back. Whoops. And what, 6 bits of wood? There we go. And yeah, just a normal vanilla, which I can't seem to be able to do, a normal vanilla bookcase. Like so. And just plonk it there. Perfect. Stick it on the ground and hit it where you want. And ta-da! You now have a Thaumcraft. Now, in all honesty, you probably already have one. I've got hundreds of them. You'll find them in villages. You'll find them in chests. I mean, I've got one there. I think there's 2 up here as well. Yeah. So I mean, I've got more Thaumcrafts than I know what to do with. But I thought I'd just show you how to make it, just so you know if you don't manage to find one. And your Thaumcraft is basically just like the Rotarycraft handbook or the immersive engineering one, or you know, almost every mod comes with a little handbook, and this is this version, this mod's handbook. And as you unlock stuff and research stuff, this stuff will become unlocked to you, and you'll be able to use it. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is start working on some of that research, and the best way to do that is we're going to grab some more wood. Just going to grab a stack of stuff. Okie dokie. And now I need to look up the recipe for this. Let's show it in. I don't think it will show it, but we'll have a look. Oh, it will show it. Okay, so we need to make some tables. So just simply like that. I need a couple of them actually. There we go. Perfect. And then the next thing we need to make is, where is it? There we go. scribing tools. So that's ink, a glass, file, and a feather. I'm sure we had feather issues in the last episode, didn't we? Yep. I didn't really think ahead, as usual, but hey-ho. Right, the little file things, and you'll need lots of these, by the way, is glass and clay. And then I will go... I still have ink. Wrong chest, this one. Yeah, I still have plenty of ink. I'm going to go kill some chickens, and I will be back in a second. Okay, chickens killed, and scribing tools made. So, I've placed down 2 tables here, and I've placed another 2 here. And I'm just going to right click in the corner of one of the desks, and that is going to transform it now into a research table. As you can see, we've got a nice little interface with it. And on this table, I figured, although I probably won't end up using it a massive amount, I figured we will make a nice little vanilla brewing stand. And I'm trying to remember the recipe off by heart. I think, is it smooth stone or is it slabs? Let's have a look. Is that it? Nope. Oh well. Have a quick look in NEI and it will tell me. There it is. Oh, I was so close. So close. Yeah. I don't think we'll end up using it much, but it's nice to have it there anyway. Seeing as we have no shortage of blaze rods now. Cool. And we'll stick that there. Magic. Literally. So, moving on. I advise that you give your Thaumcraft a good read-through. Simply because if, for any reason, I've missed something, this book is very much in depth. And it will probably go into a much more depth than I will. Because although I have played with Thaumcraft quite a bit in the past, I'm by no means an expert. And so there is stuff I might miss. Also, I haven't gone massively deep into some aspects. And so we will be needing to use this book a fair amount. In the exact same way we use the Rotarycraft book and the Tinker's book and everything else. So yeah, go read your book. Make sure you know what you're doing. Because like I said, I might miss stuff, but this book is very much in depth. So the next thing we need to make, and I seem to have magically got myself a research thing, is a thermometer. Now I've already made one, mostly because I messed up the recording the first time around. And I will quickly show you the recipe for this. So if we go in here, and I think it's under aspects. Nope. It'll be under research then. Here we go. So just in a normal workbench, take 2 of the same shards, 2 bits of gold and a bit of glass, and it will make you this. And the thermometer is basically, you can look into the world of magic through it, and more importantly, you can scan stuff. So if I, for instance, scan this work table, if you see down in the bottom right, it says to understand this, you need to study plants. So we haven't unlocked this study yet. So if we need to do plants, let's go out here and, I don't know, let's try some grass. You need to understand sources of life. Now I've already actually scanned a couple of things from the first time that I recorded this. If you look things like the grass block here, oh, can't do that, but dirt, I have already got it. And it gave me 2 aspects of, what would the green one be? Let's have a look. The green one will be terror. So here's, if I hover over it, it actually gives me a tooltip. I've already scanned in smooth stone, dirt, and sand. The primal one has given me, I got from sand, and I haven't got any of the other primal aspects yet. I scanned a torch, and that gave me lux, which is a mixture of air and fire, or air and igneous as the names for them. Now, there's kind of 2 schools of thought when it comes to this part. You can either go around and try and work out, so plants, studies of life. What about if I scan the pig? things that move. You have to basically scan things in a very specific order. And it's very much a trial and error. If you've done it a fair few times, you'll probably be able to remember it. And there's two schools of thought in this. One, do it yourself and work it out yourself, which can take quite some time. Or two, go on the internet and find a list of what to scan and in what order. The very first time I ever played with Thaumcraft, I did it the do-it-yourself way. And ever since then, I've always just pulled out a sheet that says, number 1, scan dirt, number 2, scan rock, number 3, scan a torch, number 4, scan, I don't know, whatever. And so you can unlock everything and get all the aspects that you need, because until you start scanning in some of these aspects, you can't really go much further. One other little tip. When you are scanning these, using this, always have some scribing tools, which you saw how to make a minute, and just some normal paper. And every now and again, as you scan stuff, you unlock these research notes, which is basically a little kind of leg up on doing your research. And they are handy, so you definitely want to get them. So yeah, you get the idea for this, I hope. If not, once again, Thaumcraft is your friend. Why am I keep scanning the same thing, even though it's just told me? What's the bed give me? Study of man. Yeah, I definitely... Oh, that's another thing I need to quickly cover. Nodes. See if... you can see that kind of little light floating thing right in front of me. I don't know how well it'll show up in YouTube, but right where I'm looking, there is a little kind of glowy thing. If I then bring up my thermometer, you'll be able to see that it's an aura node. Now I've already scanned this one, but normally it wouldn't tell you what's in it until after you've scanned it. It tells me it's 51. What's that one? Head something, isn't it? 51 of that one and 37 of the other. Real professional. And if I take my wand and I click on it, I can actually start, well, I've already done it with this one, but if I can actually start sucking some of that magic out. But just be careful you never get them down at 0, or you might break it. And that is how you fill your wand up. As you can see in the top left, I already have a little bit of the other, a couple of the other ones, and that's from killing, when I was killing chickens. So if I kill this, and then show you again, you see how there is now quite a bit more full. So there's another pig. Saw one jumping about the tree a second ago. There we go. Come here, you. So if I jump up here, gather up all these goop, and there we go. You see the blue and the green and the yellow. So the two kind of major ways of filling up your wand is through killing stuff and through clicking on nodes, to kind of drawing magic out the node. That will slowly refill. So don't have to worry about like only being able to use it for a short amount of time. It will slowly refill, but make sure you give it time to refill. So I think that is us covered that bit pretty much. There's nothing really exciting so far, so maybe we should go and, I don't know, let's go build a cauldron. That's at least a little bit exciting. That's kind of the next thing to do, I suppose. So let's go and have a look down here. Where would be a good spot? I could just put it... I could wait until I built my magic room. No, let's do it now, and then we'll move it in the next episode to the magic room, just so we can sort of get it started. So I think I have about a bottle of... a bucket of lava in here. I do. There we go. Perfect. So if I throw some lava down, and be careful not to step in it, and then we go back into our Thaumcraft, you will see that there is alchemy. So basic alchemy, we need to get a normal cauldron, put it down, and hit it with our wand. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I did have some spare ones. Yeah, there we go. So we'll bonk that down and hit it with a wand. Ta-da! And I'm going to need a something you put it up against. There we go. Oh, I wonder if I can scan the lava. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and I got a new research. Or maybe it's unlocked in the book. I'm not sure. Cool. Scan some other stuff. Nope. 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 Yeah, in all honesty, I have to admit, I am probably going to cheat and go find my cheap, the list of things in what order to do it, for two reasons. One, to kind of shuffle this show along a bit so we're not falling behind, and two, because I find it tedious. So, yeah. Right, I'm going to need... What else am I... I'm going to need water is the other thing. I don't really want to have to keep going back and forth for it. Am I going to be able to pull it out of there? Why are you not? You should be a... Never as easy as you want it to be. That should be a what do you call it? What have I done? Okay. We're going to have to fill a barrel or something with some water, and where am I going? I'll go and get it from the ocean over there. Alright, bear with me, be back in a second. Problem solved. Easy peasy. So, we now have a cauldron bubbling away, and I want to make some things in it, but before we do that, we need to continue doing the scanning thing. Now, I have started to do a little bit off camera, and I want to do also a little bit on camera. I am cheating. Well, I'm not cheating. Well, I suppose. Depends what your definition of it is. I'm looking at a sheet that tells me in what order to scan things. I'm not going to do it all on camera. I'll leave some of it to you to go and work out yourself. But there you go. I personally prefer to do it this way because there is over 25, 30 aspects, and you could spend all day, trying to work it out. It would take you forever. Anyway, so if you have a look down below, we have slowly gathered points of research, and if we look in our table over here, each of the symbols has a number next to it, and that's the amount of research stuff that we have got for that particular aspect. The more numbers you have next to it, the better, because it means there's more aspects you can put into research. And that's why really you should try and get as much scanning done as possible. When you start scanning some of these really high-tech things, which I didn't think we'd be able to quite yet, but at some point, give me the, no, don't give me that. Give me the table yet? No. When you get further along and you're scanning some of these very high-tech machines that have lots of parts in them, they will give you tons of aspects. I mean, for instance, like the pulverizer might give you like 30 in 3 or 4 different things. So that becomes really, really helpful, I suppose, is the best way to put it, for when you want to do a lot of research. You can just... now it said it needed me to research crystals. Does that mean I can do this now? Tools next. Yeah, see, so there's always this kind of long list of things you should be scanning. Yeah, study man. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'll work it out. Okay, guys, I came to a decision, and the decision was that I was going to do all the scanning off camera, all at once, get it out of the way, and it's done. So I have gone round for a good 20 minutes, half an hour. I've pulled stuff out of chests and thrown it on the floor. I've gone round, scanned all the machines. I'll get my little thing out and I'll show you. I didn't. There you go. I missed something. So as you can see, I've gone round and scanned everything. There's still tons of stuff I haven't scanned, but I've unlocked all the main important aspects. And if we go into the table, you can see the list of them is fairly big. And so doing all of this on camera was it would have been boring. So yeah, it's a bit of a cheat. I went and looked it up on a forum, got it all done in one, but now we have it. Now comes the more interesting part. So we're going to start doing a bit of research. And I've got 2 research notes already. And I think we'll start with a magic tallow, which is the one we said we were going to do. And you have 2 things here. You have it's like a meat popsicle thing, and a magic wand. So you go into your book, go into aspects of magic, and look for those items. So there's the meat popsicle. That's a corpus, and that's made up of mortis and bestia, something like that. And the other one, there it is made up of Vakos and Potentia. So basically, what we need to do is get somehow these two to meet in the middle. And what I mean by that is working out through researching through your things. So, for instance, where are we? So, where can we go with this? I need to kind of work it out first, and then I can sort of show it. It's a hard thing really to describe this. But you basically want to work out, so Pedrito, how to get there through aspects. I'm not explaining myself very well, but I'm about to show you because I've worked it out. So if we go to this one and we add in Mortius. Now the meat popsicle one has Mortius in it. It's made from two aspects, and so this, if you can see, there is a little line connecting it, and then the Mortius is made up of, it has this one in it, the cracked one. So if I put this down, there's a little connection. So this is connected to this through this one. Am I making any sense? If I'm not, go read the book. Go read the Thaumcraft. It will probably describe it 100 times better than me. So now we have to get to Peridito, no idea, through this one. So what does Vakos and Potentia in it? Well, Potentia is right here, and it doesn't have either of those two in it. But if I go and find Vakos, it should be around here somewhere. Maybe? Aha! So Vakos has the cracked one in it. So if I now go back into here and put, where is it? Find the Vakos stuff. Does anybody see it? Ah, there it is. And if I put that there, then now this one connects to this, which connects to this. This one connects to this, which connects to this. So we basically, it's like, what's that game? 10 degrees of separation. It's basically 10 degrees of separation put into a mini game. And there you go. That is now, you've finished this. It turns into a little scroll saying discovery. I pull it out, stick it in my bar, and we can read it. So that's, okay, you can't read it. You click it and it goes into your book. So if I now go into my book, and you see how that's sparkling? It's because we've unlocked something. Ta-da! Magic tallow. By processing and heating flesh in a crucible, you can create a magical tallow suited for many arcane uses. This tallow can be used to craft candles. It's also possible to craft different coloured candles by combining a candle with a dye in an arcane workbench. So, here comes the next bit. We are now going to try and make some of this tallow. So we need to throw some rotten flesh into our cauldron, and then we need to mix it with some magic. Some I'm not going to try and read these names anymore because I just can't. I am way too stupid. So we are going to try and work out what would have magic in it. Let's have a think. It'd have to be something magical. So what do these have in them? Let's pull out some. Let's pull out some earth ones. Throw them on the ground, and we'll scan them. So they have magic, but they also have two other aspects. So if I now throw these into this, we'll use the magic, but those other two aspects are going to just kind of hang around and get wasted. So I don't want to use that. And also, if you have too much stuff hanging around in the air, it can turn things nasty. So instead of doing that, we will have a look and see if we can find something else. What's netherwort got in it, for instance? Oh, that's the same. It's got other aspects that we don't want. And in all honesty, you're going to struggle to find something that doesn't have other aspects in it. We'll try one more thing. We'll try some air shards. Okay, so there we go. So the best thing you can do really is try and find something that maybe only has one other, one other aspect. Because the problem you're going to have is if you put too much of these aspects into the air, you'll corrupt the chunk and bad things will happen. But there are ways to fix this problem further down the line. So what we're going to do is using... Aha! So we're going to throw in... Well, hold on, let's just check the recipe before I mess this up. Tallow. So we want 2 bits of magic and 1 bit of rotten flesh. So 1 of these and 2 of these. And maybe? I think I have to hit it with a wand? No? Ah! Okay, I seem to have done this very wrong. Bear with me. Okay, I think what I did was, is put the stuff in the wrong order. See that? That is bad stuff. That's all those extra, well, that's all the stuff that's been sitting in there boiling away is now putting out that steam. And if you touch that stuff, it'll hurt you. So we're just going to do that, and do that, and cheat. Well, it's not cheating, but anyway. So all the stuff that was in there has now boiled off and polluted my lovely room. So we're going to try again. I think what I did was I did it the wrong way round. So still stuff boiling off. Is I think you put the stuff that you want like to get melted down in first. So if we put the 2 of those in, and then you put the thing that's actually going to get transformed in last. Yeah, it worked. Ta-da! So it gave me some tallow. Perfect. And now there's still essences in there, and that is going to blow off into that purple gunk again, which is bad. So we are going to work towards fixing that, but it's going to be a bit of a long process. And in all honesty, I think I'm going to go check the time and see where we are. But this episode has basically been us setting things up and getting us ready, and we are very well set up. We have a cauldron, we've got started doing all the research, and now I can, if we get my Thaumcraft out, we can start looking at all these things that we can unlock. And I have played with a lot of this stuff before, so hopefully we should be able to progress through quite quickly. Cool. So guys, I am going to go and check the time, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we are already at about 35 minutes, so we are definitely going to have to wrap this up. As I said, this episode has been a bit kind of nothing much happens, but we've got everything set up now, so we have the basis. So in the next episode, we are going to build lots of Thaumcraft stuff. I'll probably try and edit it in a way that some of the more boring bits aren't shown as much, because this was mostly me just going, don't know what I'm doing, don't know what I'm doing, don't know what I'm doing, which is pretty much what I do most of the time anyway, so meh. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, a like and a subscribe would be really appreciated, and I will see you in the next episode. I've been JDporkchop, and this has been Rotarycraft Infinity.